Hi everyone, this is Professor Benjamin, and usually at the end of week one or somewhere near the end of week one, I'll send out a roundup to you. I try and do it every week. It doesn't mean that every week it happens, but I do try to intend every week to send out a a roundup that explains what happened last week and what there is to look forward to this week. So last week, I know it was the first week of the semester and it's always hectic for everybody. I know I start out strong because I think it's really good to get into a healthy routine right away in the semester. It usually sets you up for success at the end of the semester. So this week was a little bit different because we started class on Tuesday. Because we started class on Tuesday, we couldn't have an initial post due on Tuesday. So both your initial post and response posts were due by Thursday this week. Many of you did a great job. If you didn't do well, I commented on your initial post that you submitted to me as to why you didn't receive full credit. A lot of the common themes are your post wasn't at least 300 words. You didn't use sources I gave you. Your sources weren't properly cited. You need to use in-text citations. You've plagiarized. I don't accept plagiarizing. The first week I kind of let it a little bit slide once in a while just because I think a lot of students aren't used to using in-text citations. But from this point forward, please do not plagiarize. Always put quotes around information that you've copied from another source. Make sure that if you are paraphrasing, that at the end of that paraphrase sentence or paragraph, you use an in-text citation. And then at the end of your source, you're properly citing in MLA formatting your entire source that you used. Okay. The other thing is a lot of students fail to make a response post to a fellow classmate. So remember, from this point forward in this class, every Tuesday you have your initial post due, and every Thursday you have a response post due to a fellow classmate. Remember, the directions for both initial posts and response posts can be found under the course information session. Remember, response posts have to be at least 200 words and bring substantial content to the conversation. So, hey, love your post is not what I'm looking for in this class. I'm really looking for you to read other students' posts and really kind of pick their brain on why they wrote what they wrote. Like, hey, I'm not sure I understand what you mean here. I took it to be this, and explain what you took it to be. Okay? So it's important. Now this week we jump right in and we have our population. So this week we're going to cover population. You can see there's a lot of additional sources here. Okay? Lots of additional sources. You have your PowerPoint. You have a wonderful video lecture by Amy Wiley. There's a really great life expectancy PowerPoint here. It's a really helpful tool to explain what life expectancy is because remember, life expectancy is an average. It's not something that a lot of people think, oh, well, my grandfather died when he was 80. Well, okay, that's your grandfather, but it's the average of millions of people, okay? So, and in some cases, billions of people. So that is what life expectancy is. So you'll have forum posts due this week. So you have your initial post due by Tuesday, your response post to a fellow classmate by Friday. You have your population quiz due by next Sunday. Don't forget you do have an introduction quiz due by the 21st, which is Sunday by 11:59. So plan ahead if you're an Eagles fan. Plan ahead. Here and then also by next Sunday, you have your first assignment due for this class. I highly suggest, I know you get one dropped assignment and a lot of students miss the first assignment because they're like, oh, well, it's dropped. Well, listen, because remember, we have 4 assignments, 1 is dropped. If I were you, I highly suggest that you do the assignment because you never know what's going to happen later in the semester. So a lot of times what happens is then students are scrambling at the end of the semester because they have all this other work due in all their other classes. They forgot about all that work. So do the assignment. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is spend a little time on the assignment to explain a little bit about the assignment and how I'm going to grade you, etc. Number 1, don't forget our LibGuides because the LibGuides, and remember that source is given to you I think I gave it to you up here in the announcements. So if you look under the announcements, this research project resource can be used for this assignment. So if you click on here and you follow the link for that LibGuides, this is going to help you on this assignment too. It's a wonderful way for you to find sources for this class. Okay, so there you go, is a good place to find valid sources for this class. What you're going to do is you're going to compare countries. So the idea of this is there are certain learning outcomes we're going to learn in here. Number one, we're going to learn how to use Excel. So you're going to compare countries by putting numbers in Excel and then creating graphs. And then we're going to verbally compare those by a written document. Okay, so the objective of this assignment is for students to become familiar with human geography terminology, such as birth rate, death rate, life expectancy, etc. Understand spatial variations through graphs and data, and gain an understanding of the demographic processes. Okay, so here are the directions. You're going to pick 5 countries from the list below, which is right here. Here's the list of countries. You're going to pick 5 of those. And for those 5 countries, you're going to find out specific things, okay? And right here it explains what you need to find. So you're going to need to look up, it says it right here, sorry, I apologize, right here. The information in the table, the crude death rate, the crude birth rate, the rate of natural increase. This is the mathematical calculation. So you'll look up the definition online, and it's just a easy subtraction. The infant mortality rate, life expectancy, gross net income per capita, and the stage of demographic transition. Again, this is not on the specific website that I'm going to show you, so you're going to have to look on Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia is not the best valid source, but it actually gives really good stages of demographic transition, which is shocking, but it does. So you could use sources to find the demographic transition. So these are what you're going to look up for your paper on. You pick 5 of these countries. Okay, so you're going to look up that information for 5 of these countries. So here you go. So you're going to go to this source, pbr.org. Here is the source. Okay, the data home finder is here, which is really easy to use. You're going to click on. You can click on international. Okay, so it's really simple. You can click on countries, and what you could do is type it in. So for example, let's say I pick Afghanistan as one of my countries. Here is some of the information. So infant mortality rate, life expectancy. Here's the GNIPP per capita. Okay. The other thing is here, there is other information under this charts and topics tab. So make sure you click on there, and a lot of the information is under demographics. Okay, so you can click over here and you can find the demographics. So if you look here and you look up death rate, because death rate, remember, wasn't on that other chart. If you click on death rate here, here are all the countries' death rate. Okay, so what you could do is, this is their death rate, so you could look up all the specific information on here. Okay, so you could see it's by countries, death rate per 1,000 total population. Okay, so if you click on that tab, if you click on, so some of your information will be under the data finder home, and you can search for your country. Some of the other information will be under this charts and maps by topic. And if you click on demographics or economics, you'll find the information. So you compile all the information. If you're not sure how to use Excel, okay, to create the map, to create the data sheet and the maps, I give you screenshots under the module. So if you're not sure how to do that, you could do that under the module as well. You could look up the screenshots on how to do that. And then after you do create the maps and the Excel spreadsheet, you then are going to write a 2-page summary analyzing your results. So here are the questions that you're going to answer when you're writing your paper. Now this is going to require some thoughtful process. You're not just telling me the numbers, because I can look at the graph and find the numbers. You're explaining, for example, why the life expectancy is higher in the United States than Afghanistan, and the reasons why. So for example, the life expectancy in the United States is higher than that of Afghanistan because Afghanistan has been the subject of war for a very long time. They have been the subject of militants. They have been the subject of lack of food, lack of resources. So you would research this and bring in sources as to explain why the life expectancy between certain countries is higher or lower, infant mortality rate, what are the trends, did you think these trends would be correct, did you think these trends would be different? So you want to make sure you look at this, okay? Most likely you'll find 2 or 3 countries that have similar death rate, birth rate, life expectancy, GNI, PP, etc. You'll see a group of those, and then you'll see a group of the other ones. So you want to kind of compare those. Explain why that is. Maybe where their location is on a map. Maybe it's because of the food they eat. Maybe it's because they have access to healthcare or socialized healthcare. So you need to do some research. This project, you will not be successful on this project if you wait until Sunday night, next Sunday night, at 10 o'clock and start doing this project. It's not going to work out for you. It's absolutely essential that you start working on this project throughout this week or this assignment so that you have quality work submitted by next week. Okay? So don't forget. Of course, you can reach out to me for questions, etc. Oh, I forgot to show you. I just clicked out of there. But I do have a rubric on how I'm going to grade you. So I don't just make up grades. Okay, so you'll see here exactly how I'm going to grade you on this project. So make sure that you spend time really writing out the assignment, the answers to the assignment, okay? And it tells you exactly. So make sure you include sources, make sure at least it's 2 pages, make sure you have your graphs and your assignment. Everything's going to be uploaded to Canvas. It is best to upload 2 separate documents. So your graphs and your data sheet is one upload, and then your project is another upload. So it's best if you do that. If you upload one and then upload the other, okay? Make sure that everything's uploaded. I cannot give anybody credit if they don't upload their assignments in there. So if you upload just the graphs, I'm only going to give you half credit because you only uploaded the graphs. If you upload the assignment too, so make sure that you keep logging out and logging back in and make sure everything was submitted properly over here in Canvas. Okay, so again, successful first week. A lot of you did a great job. Some of you just need to come up to speed on what the expectations are for the course. Remember, while this is an online course, you need to put time and effort into this course. So technically, if we were in the classroom, we would meet 3 to 4 hours per week if you're meeting Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So make sure that you put at least 4 to 5 hours into this class, sometimes 6, sometimes 7. Okay, so make sure that you are preparing and taking time. If you look here, I have released the course project, so you could start reading about your course project here. If you have any questions, of course, you can reach out. Your proposal will be due in a couple weeks, so let's get through this week. You get an idea for what the assignments look like, what your initial posts look like, what your quizzes look like, okay? And then I'll put out the project proposal form for you to fill out. All right, so have a wonderful week. Use this weekend to really catch up on what the requirements are for this course. And remember, even though we're not meeting in the classroom, you have a lot of work due for this course. It's not just a free course just because it's online. Again, if you have any questions on how to do the assignment, feel free to reach out. If you have questions about how to make a simple bar chart or an Excel spreadsheet, there are PowerPoint presentation, not PowerPoint, but screenshots on how to do that here. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to all your submittals.